I'm live. Doing a little more testing here. I'm just doing a straight up from the YouTube Creator Studio, not using OBS or not Discord or anything else at all. So you're going to see a weird picture on the background. And yeah, that sucks. It won't let me turn the camera off. So, oh well. You can turn the mic off and on, but then I didn't go through the normal way of streaming. I didn't send this out to anybody, so I don't expect anybody to watch it anyway. Yeah. I'm just not a big fan of Google right now for screwing up their hangouts. They had something that worked for people that did podcasts, who did videos. Why they had to do whatever they're doing, I don't know. But I've been seeing people do tests all over this weekend on YouTube, and I was doing them last weekend, this weekend, and yeah, I've still not found anything that I like that feels like intuitive to use. So, yeah, whatever. That's actually showing my live TV that's got something else playing. We can't be having that. Yeah, let's just move my camera so you don't see anything. It's dark in here. Well, we can go over some of the stuff from the last few days. Been kind of weird. Everybody, again, hating on Xbox. Will that crap ever end? Probably not. Big story was Ninja moving from Twitch to Mixer. I gotta be honest, I've never watched a single stream on Twitch. I don't go to it. I don't use it. The son uses it, but I've never messed with it. I don't watch anything on Mixer either. I do try to support streamers when I'm in Twitter. You know, if they're saying they're about to go live, I'll retweet and stuff so they can get their information out there. But personally, no, I don't like to watch other people play games. I like to play games myself. And I don't think I'm very interesting playing games and talking. I'm not the best. Games that do good streaming are not, pretty much not my kind of game anyway. I don't know. I just can't see myself ever doing that. Maybe someday I'll give it a try. But I don't know. You know, if I bring up some 1980s, early 1990s shump and, I'm streaming something like that, you got to be concentrating and playing that stuff. I just don't know about streaming it. But back to Ninja. Wow. This dude making bank already on Twitch. Wow. I just can't believe how it's such a select few on there that make so much money and everybody else barely gets anything. It's the same on YouTube. There is a select few that actually earn really good incomes off of YouTube. And then there's everybody else. And there's like me that doesn't make anything. And, I'm lucky if I get 25 views on one of my rants. Hey, I do have a new show coming. It's going to be milkshakes and movies, non-gaming show, even though those videos will be on my channel. I'm kind of doing a combination channel of games and movies. I've got a vintage 50s milkshake maker. I'm going to do all kinds of different recipes. And while the milkshake thing's going, I'm going to talk about mostly current releases, on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K UHD, more than likely. And some classic movies, just stuff that I think people should really check out. They're not going to be in-depth reviews or anything. Just, my thoughts on whatever particular movie it is. I'm just going to do one show a week, probably upload it on the weekends. I was going to do it yesterday. It was going to be a Saturday night show for me, but, or Saturday night video to upload. They're only going to be about 10 to 15 minutes. Nice, tasty milkshake. And a recommendation for, a movie or two. But the camera apparatus I got with tripod, and I got a shotgun mic with it. And the adapter thing was not in the box to hook the shotgun mic to the camera. I guess I could have taped it or something weird, or I just like, no, you know what? Plus, I felt really bad yesterday, so it was like, yeah, I'm not even going to do it. I want to make sure I got all my stuff right and put out some quality content. I'm going to be using that camera setup or do lots of movie and maybe even some vintage game reviews. That way I don't have to worry about having a capture card or anything. You know, I can fire up whatever vintage tube TV I got and talk about it and throw on anything from a GameCube, Wii, Super Nintendo, N64, Neo Geo, even NES, Sega Master System, a Genesis, a Saturn, and TurboGrafx / PC Engine. There'll be a lot of that. And anyway, and just, you know, have the camera pointed towards your TV. It's pretty low quality, but that's okay. People, you know, I think they'll be fine with it, especially the fact that it's actually playing on a CRT. I kind of like that. And it's not going to be about my gameplay anyway. It's going to be about the game itself and why you should delve back into it to do some retro gaming. Now, as far as new games, yeah, I might suck it up and just get a little footage. It is pretty easy to get footage from the Xbox. You just, you know, record it to a thumb drive that's plugged right into your Xbox, and then plug that into your, you know, computer setup and upload it. And there's various free editing programs, so I'm gonna have to, you know, get off my butt for that. I may even start showing some movie footage on movies I review. You can do that as long as you got no audio. I think you can get away without getting copyright strikes. But in the beginning, I think I'm just going to talk about the movie, show off my viewing area, the entire setup. You know, I got a pretty good home theater thing going, you know, at a modest price too, I might add. You don't have to spend $5,000 to have a decent movie watching thing. And I think most people know that. You probably already got a decent TV, and whatever you got, it's good enough. You probably already got a DVD or Blu-ray player or Xbox. Don't waste your time on the PlayStation 4 Pro because those don't do 4K, so there's no UHD drive. Go with the Xbox if you want the latest, greatest, and you'll be able to watch movies at the highest quality in 4K. Yeah, you can stream crap and stuff like that on your PlayStation, but it's never as good. Never as good as just having that disc. Which is weird because all the PlayStation games I have, I buy the physical disc for. But for movies, you can't do that. Well, I mean, you can run Blu-rays in it, but I've got better players than what the PlayStation is for a Blu-ray player, so I would never watch a movie using it. Anyway, I was going to test some other stuff, but I just ended up going straight into Creator Studio and telling it to do a stream via camera. And I was hoping once it started, I'd shut the camera off so it would show, you know, my gamer pick. But I think you have to go back to the classic setup for that. And this didn't let me do it. So we're going to call this a failed test, but with a little bit of a rant. Hey, I got somebody in chat. Cool. Mr. Kima. Nice. I'm going to say hi. If you're still there, hey, Mr. Kima. I'm just killing time trying to figure all this stuff out. And it's real important because I'm going to be doing multiple podcasts. I'm already a panel member on Mads Gaming's Next Gen podcast, but we've moved that to Wednesdays at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Kind of a nice little slot. And good show. Me and him got good rapport. He's looking to add a third, if not even a fourth person at some point. We're in no hurry over the summer. Not a whole lot of next gen type news dropping right now anyway. Most of it's unsubstantiated rumors until we start getting those really juicy rumors. You know, I don't think we're too worried about expanding the panel. But I'm going to be doing a Saturday morning sometime movie review podcast where I'm going to be looking for some people that are like-minded, that are both, love games and movies. And we'll talk about mostly just the latest releases, what's just dropped that week on 4K and Blu-ray, and maybe what'll be coming the following week. Maybe the occasional, classic top movie, so there'll be 2 to 3 different movies we talk about on each podcast, and we'll try to keep those to probably just about an hour on Saturdays. And then the big one, is going to be my podcast on Sunday nights, BDXP, Best Damn Xbox Podcast. No negativity, no fear-mongering, no hate. And even though it's titled Best Damn Xbox Podcast, it is a true gaming podcast. And there'll be times we'll talk about whatever's the latest PlayStation game coming out. There's no reason not to. And I'm looking for panel members on that. I've mentioned it to a few people, and they're seem to be interested. I've got a couple more people that said, "Hey, just shoot me a DM and let me know what you're planning." But I'm trying to wrap my head around whether or not I'm going to end up having to use Discord, or if I'm going to go and using OBS. I don't want to use OBS. I don't even want to use Discord. I just want to use YouTube and Google Hangouts. And apparently I'm hearing that Hangouts, it's not being shut down. It's being changed. I don't know. I think it's going to go to the point where you have to pay for it. It's like I heard today on someone's test stream, it was like going to be $6 a month or something. I'd gladly pay that. But where? Nowhere's on Google can I find that information. I don't know. I actually tried to contact Google. I couldn't get anybody to talk to me about Hangouts. And what emails I sent, I've never got any return. Live chat, I couldn't get anybody to. Yeah. I don't think Google knows what 100% they're doing with it. So I'm going to have to probably end up just using, maybe still use OBS, but just with a real basic layout and other crazy stuff going on screen. And then probably try to use Discord for the chat, which I've got to learn Discord because you have to be able to invite people and get them in the room with you and all that. And I've seen a lot of podcasts that use it, and once you get it down, it's okay. It seems like every time when they first learning to use it, the audio is all jacked up, and some people you can't hear, other ones are crazy loud, but eventually they figure it out, and their podcasts go on fine. So that's probably what I'm looking at. And the BDXP is not probably going to start for a couple months anyway. Like I said, I'm going to slowly put the panel together and kind of get a real positive show going. That'll be, the week that was and the week that will be, and, talk about, everything that just got released and everything that's going to be released coming up. And then when there's not anything fresh coming up, we will also talk about whatever's the hottest subject going on. But wow, that's kind of weird. I was talking about the hottest subject with Ninja going to Mixer, and the only thing I said about it is I don't watch Twitch or Mixer, either one. But what I should have continued on is people need to get over crap like that. Microsoft bought Mixer. I forget what it used to be called beforehand. They turned it into Mixer. They want to compete with Twitch, so they're going to steal some of their talent. I get it. And people say, well, they'll pay exclusive for Mixer but not get exclusive games. Listen, when Microsoft releases a game, it is exclusive. It just happens to be for the Xbox, the PC, and with xCloud coming, for whatever device you want to stream it to. So that is their exclusive games. That's their business model. People need to really get over that because that's actually a good thing. Idiots that are, that game's going to be on other systems. Well, if you don't have an Xbox, play it on the other systems. My God, they want you to do that. That's why they're putting stuff out on other things. They bought some studios. They were pre-existing contracts, so they were going to go to Microsoft. Don't mind that. As long as the game's on my Xbox, that's all I care about. And I just get so tired of hearing all that negative stuff week in, week out. So I really want to put that show together, and I just think we need a Sunday night show. There's not really one anymore. So I'm kind of putting my flag in the ground. Got a few people, like I said, in mind for it. Looking forward to that. And in the meantime, this new camera setup that I bought, that's not the camera that's actually facing darkness right now, so you can't see anything. Because this was just meant to be audio. But with the new camera setup, that's where I'm going to actually probably be on camera a little bit. You know, talking Blu-rays, movies, and video games. I just got to figure out. I got a snowball that I use for the podcasting. That's what I'm using right now. It's great, but it didn't really hook to the tripod and the camera that I got anyway, conveniently. So I bought a shotgun mic for that. And like I said, the adapter that lets it hook wasn't with it. It was supposed to be. So I'm either gonna have to order something or duct tape it. I don't know. I'll figure out something. Probably be. I hate to say it, but it'll probably be next weekend before I get the first the movies and milkshakes with Jake, or Mojo's Milkshake and Movies is actually going to be the title of it. I really wanted to go live this weekend, but yeah, things don't always work out. But I felt like I needed to get something on the channel, and I've seen everybody and his brother trying to test and use different stuff today. So I thought, well, I'll just go live. And wow, yeah, I couldn't get to Hangouts. Maybe I was clicking something wrong, doing something wrong. I was using a little instruction sheet on how I normally, even if I go live, it actually puts me in Hangouts, even if I'm by myself, doing a live video, and it just never did that. It was like weird. So I just clicked on, live via the camera, and boom, it throws you right in, and then you're live. But it doesn't give me the option to turn the camera off, which is what I'd like to do on these kinds of live rants. I just prefer the, gamer pick to be up there on the screen. And I can do that through OBS, and I already know how to do that, but I wasn't wanting to mess with OBS. I've already did my test with it. It's Discord that I need to learn about. So if anybody listens to this later and they got some background in Discord, or they, do their own podcast or whatever, DM me on Twitter, Mojo_Blues1 on Twitter. DM me and help me. Give me some information on how to make Discord work, because I'm thinking that's what I'm going to use if I can't figure out a way to continue with Hangouts. And I keep hearing Hangouts is still there. The Iron Lords today on their show had mentioned that, yeah, there's still a version of Hangouts. Although, like I said, when I went to this test, I wasn't able to get through Hangouts. I just went through Creator Studio and said go live. I didn't tweet out any links or anything. But yet, yeah, I was found. I had one chat. That is so cool. Yeah, as long as at least one person's listening to me, I'm down with that. But we're closing in on 20 minutes, and I think that probably ought to be enough. Other than the whole BS with Ninja, all the negative stuff, I try real hard not to mention any of these guys' names that come out with all this negative crap. I think y'all know who they are, because they're constantly putting out crap. They just keep putting more crap, more crap, more crap. And it's just almost like they have a problem with Phil Spencer, because maybe Phil Spencer called them out and made them look like a childish fanboy at one time. And so now they have a vendetta against him to say everything bad in the world about him and try to make Xbox look bad. But anyway, and then there's other ones who I think do it because they think it's funny or entertaining or whatever, but they base their whole show. And I've tried to watch their podcast. And they were once on really good podcasts that I've tried to watch, and you just can't, because they're not talking about whatever game's out for the PlayStation. They only talk about Xbox, and they only talk bad about it, and it's quite pathetic. I mean, sometimes there's 5-6 guys in their panel, and that's all they're doing is bashing Xbox week after week, show after show. Sometimes they do 2-3 shows a week, and all of them are anti-Xbox. It's the most insane thing in the world. But there's still plenty of really good podcasts. I mentioned Iron Lords this morning. They always put out a really good show. Brat, anything Basement Radio Arcade Podcast does, usually really good quality stuff, good conversations. I'm not mentioning the names of the negative ones. I think most people know which ones they are and know to avoid them. Yeah, Mr. Keita just said I unsubbed all the bad podcasts or negative ones. Yeah, I don't listen to any of those anymore, and it sucks because I worked 12-hour shifts overnight. So let's say whoever was doing a show like on a Wednesday night, it was nice. I got off work Thursday morning. I'd listen to it on the way home and then finishing it up while I was fixing something to eat in the morning before having to go to bed. I kind of like that. Same thing for a Friday night podcast, or at least one of the Friday night podcasts. The earlier one I can't watch anymore because of 2 individuals on it that just, hate Xbox, and yeah, they're so negative it just ruins it. The main guy's all right on it. Hopefully he'll figure it out. It's his show, so but I just quit watching for now. If I hear people start saying it's good again, I might go back to them. But I like Dealers podcast, RDX on Tuesday nights. That's always a good show, very entertaining. I'm striving for something of that level of quality. It may take a long time, but I'm going to get some good people on the BDXP, Best Damn Xbox podcast. And, it's going to be on Sundays, and we'll see. I'm hoping I'm going to be in Germany for 3 weeks in October, so it may actually be the end of October before I get the podcast up and running. Or who knows, if I get a good grip on how all this works, I'm going to be staying with my son over there. He's got good internet. If I can run it from there, maybe I'll just do the podcast, while I'm there. It's just one night a week. So if I had to do 2 or even 3 episodes while I was there, that'd actually kind of be cool. So I may get it up and running by maybe like first week of September would be cool. That'd still give me a month to get my head wrapped around all these add-ins you've got to put in your YouTube app to do these videos. Even using the Creator Studio, when you click on the button, it tells you that whatever, some version ain't going to work anymore, and you're going to have to do Yeah, screw Google. Man, I feel sorry for those people that's going to dump out all that money for Stadia, Studia, Straight, whatever it is. They're going to end up getting burned. I'm just telling you. If you drop $60 to get a game to stream on that, I think you will get some lag. And, I've got really good internet here, by the way. And, now I'm still hardwired. Like right now with this podcast, I'm on a Surface Pro 6 and I'm hardwired to the internet. Most of the other devices, I just do wirelessly. But anything important, I'll take my little, blue wire and go plug it into whatever I want. And I know the difference because I was watching a podcast this morning, and it was unwatchable through my wireless network. Basically, it kept dropping down in the quality. Every 20-30 seconds, it seems like it would pause for a few seconds. But when I played it on my Surface Pro, which was, hooked directly to the internet, it was a little bit better and wasn't causing all those problems. Of course, that might be more about my home network, but I've actually got a high-end router. It gets amazing coverage, and I'm only about 10 feet away from the router, maybe 12 feet tops. So that, 90% of the time I'm watching movies and TV and other crap off the home network, wirelessly, and have very little problems. But when you're on xCloud may end up being a little bit better, but I still think you're going to be a slave to the quality of your overall quality and speed of your internet when you're doing it that way. And I just don't know that that's why. Just buy a console, for God's sake. Now with xCloud, well, they're pushing to do it to whatever phone device you got. And I know 5G will be huge with that, so you don't get those dropouts and other issues. And that's great. If you want to play your games or buy games and play them on your cell phones, cell phone screens just keep getting bigger and bigger. I've got a Note 9 and it's fairly big, but I actually would like a little bit bigger. I'm thinking, I want maybe a 7.0. I heard that the Note 10 XL that is 5G capable was going to be a 7.0. I think any bigger than that, then it's now a tablet. So just get a tablet. I know the Note or the Surface Pro I got's like a 10-inch tablet, 12-inch. I can't remember now, but it's great. But it's a tablet. I don't want to carry around a tablet all the time. I do a lot of my most all computing stuff previously. All was just done on my phone. I had an old crappy computer, but I didn't use it for much at all. Now I'm doing more and more stuff on my Surface Pro. It's pretty sweet. But I don't want to stream to it. I don't want xCloud. But that's just me. I think xCloud will find its customer base, and maybe Stradio will find its too. But I don't know if it'll make enough money to Google keep supporting it. And same thing for Microsoft too. Well, they're only marginally better than Google as far as supporting products that don't make them. If they don't make $1 billion off of it, they don't want nothing to do with it. There's no such thing as a small profit to them. I'll give Sony a hand on that. They'll stick with something that makes a little bit of money. Profit's a profit kind of with them. Always hoping that I guess later on it's more profit and goes big time for them. But companies like Google and Microsoft, it's $1 billion or bust with whatever they put out. But at least they've maintained a console. Microsoft's had consoles for a long time now. So and they've been fairly successful with all of them. The 360 did blow up and pretty much dominated that entire generation. All that sales crap, PlayStation caught them at the end. Yeah, in pieces of plastic, but as far as games purchased and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hours played, no, the 360 dominated that generation. I mean, in fact, if you just want to go straight sales, the Wii actually won as far as, pieces of plastic, how many was sold. But, as far as gaming hours, it was all about the 360. I mean, it even changed the vernacular. People would say, hey, let's play some Xbox. Nobody ever says, let's play some PlayStation. That would sound stupid. Nobody says, let's play some Switch. Let's play some this. Hey, let's play some video games. But people would say, hey, let's play some Xbox. And actually, I take that back on the Switch. I think that might be creeping into the people's vernacular now, playing some Switch instead of specifically saying a game. Because the Switch is pretty damn unique. Low quality or not, it's pretty unique. And it's a sleek piece of gaming tech that's really nice. Yeah, it would be better if they would have put a beefier processor in it, so they were at least getting, Xbox One and PS4 base level games. But Nintendo chose to keep the price where it was at. They didn't want it to be $500. That's what it would have been if they would have bought the beefed up processor, the next version, which was already out or about to come out when they were going to be releasing the Switch. So Nintendo knows what they're doing. They know how to make games, and they only needed a certain level of power. And they basically took everything good from the Wii U, and it's in there, and then everything that was bad about the Wii U, they got rid of. They made the Switch a really cool product. So good on you, Nintendo. I still wish they would put out a straight home console that was on the same power level as the other guys. And maybe they will. Maybe there'll be a Switch Pro come someday. And even if they don't reach Scarlet and PS5 levels, it still might release, might be, Xbox One and PS4 levels. I don't know. You can never tell with Nintendo. I mean, the Mini, it actually has a slightly beefed up processor in it, and the new Switches coming out have it, but they're not. That's power that's never going to get used. What it does is, because it's got a smaller processor, chip, or die, however you want to call it, it gives them better battery life. So you go buy a Switch 2 months from now or 6 months from now, you're going to get that really good battery life, but they're not going to make games that'll use that extra power. Nintendo's just knows better to do that. They did it once, and only once, with the 3DS. It was one of the how many ever times they had new 3DS. It was one of the new 3DSs, and they ended up only a couple of games, and they got beat up pretty bad in the media over it. Who knows? If you look at it as a 6 or even 7 year life cycle for the Switch, maybe late next year might be the midpoint, or that following March of 2021, they might drop a Switch Pro that's, at least games that I guess for the PS5, and the I still don't know what to call the next Xbox. Apparently they've dropped Anaconda, which was really cool. The most powerful one being the Anaconda. But yeah, them code names suck. Microsoft shouldn't even let those get out. I'm sure the PS5 has a code name, but I've not heard anybody say what it is. Sony's smart about that. It's a code name that's never going to be used once the console comes out. So why let it get out there? Eventually it will when it doesn't matter, because it'll be, well, I guess with PlayStation it doesn't matter regardless, because you just know it's 5. They just slap that number on there, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I really hope that they come out with the next Xbox just as the Xbox V, meaning 5, and count the X as a console, even though it's it was just a mid-gen upgrade, but it was such a massive upgrade that I think you could count it as its own, and that would make the next Xbox their 5th console. So the Xbox One V or Xbox V or Xbox 5, anything like that would be awesome. Simplify it and get it on a nice numbering system. Because I believe there'll be another console after that. I don't think streaming will take over even next gen to where they go, okay, we don't have to release another console. Maybe the one after that could be the last. Who knows? That's a long time in the future, considering they're trying to make these generations last 7 and 8 years now. So holiday 13 to holiday 20, we got a nice 7-year cycle with a 3-year mid-gen machine from Sony, which wasn't really much of an upgrade. That was kind of sad. It was just, well, let's be honest, it was just for the VR. I have one. I have a Pro for my VR, but most of the games they look just as good on the base model. So, and we got True next in upgraded to 4-year point from Xbox, but sometimes I just think of the X as the only version of the console. I don't even think about people still playing an S or the original base model. Although I still have the original one. I had an S, but I traded in that on my X. I may pick up another S as a backup 4K UHD player. My I still need to pick up a PlayStation 4 base model, which I'm going to put on the 1080p TV. Where right now, and an OG Xbox One sets. And I don't really use it for anything, but I have it on it. But we'll see. Time will tell. I like wasting money on old consoles, and I keep them all now. So I did trade in that 1S model, but that's because I only used it for a year. I didn't mind eating whatever little bit of money I lost on it because I always knew I was going to get the X, but I didn't want to wait a year and have to go buy a 4K UHD player. This was going to be 4K UHD capable, and that's actually important to me. I am a movie guy besides just a gamer, and I love those 4K UHD discs, and the quality is so amazing. My son's monitor died a couple weeks ago, and he got him a 1440p monitor. It's pretty cool. He can play 4K UHD discs on our Xbox. I unhooked it from my area, and we hooked it up to his. So he don't have a 4K drive, disc drive in his computer. He's just got a 1080p Blu-ray drive in it. So anyway, we hooked up the X to his monitor, and sure enough, we got to select 1440p and variable refresh rate and throw the movie on. Yeah, it's pretty badass. Nice 32-inch monitor. It's a Dell. It's not 144 hertz, though, so it's not going to give him that crazy, silky smooth gameplay. But he didn't care because his previous monitor was not 144 hertz. It's the same as this one, 60 hertz. So movies look great on it. It was just a cheapy monitor we bought at the time. I don't remember the brand. It's something, some monitor was undoubtedly made in a Chinese prison. And actually, when we ordered it, I think it only 720p, but apparently they didn't have any of the 720p ones when we got it. And he got shipped whatever that company's particular monitor was. It was 1080p. So it got a real great price on it. It was pretty cheap. He used it, the hell out of it, for a lot of years until it died. We didn't worry about getting it repaired. I think it was just the HDMI input died on it. But we just took it to the local dump and got rid of it. And got him that new one. But it's just cool because like my 4K monitor, of course, don't have 144 hertz or anything like that, or didn't have variable refresh rate. So I just wanted to see how the X responded. And even at only 60 hertz, if you select that variable refresh rate, games do play kind of silky smooth. It might have been my imagination, though. I don't ever play games on a PC and all that crap. I'm just used to console, and that's all I ever want to play. Wow, this thing's went out to like 40 minutes. It might be time to get off here. I've still yet to watch The Boys on Amazon. I think I'm going to fire that up tonight. It's not very many episodes, and it's 10 minutes after 9 here p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States of America. I'm in East Tennessee, by the way. If you can't tell by my hillbilly accent, which isn't too thick, but it's, it is what it is. I've lived all over the world. I haven't always had an accent, but at some point I was still on active duty, but I was an air traffic controller, but I was no longer having to actual control traffic. You get a little bit of rank and you don't actually do your job. You manage other people doing it. But I was down in South Carolina and everybody had that, accent, and I just kind of fell back in it like putting on a glove. And at some point I'm like, well, that's my heritage. If that's how I sound, that's how I sound. I've not tried to, speak without it. I kind of like it. And all in all, tonight's little test rant is pretty good. I'll have to send out the link on Twitter and hopefully get maybe a few people will watch it. We covered a little bit of ground here. Maybe I should stop putting the word rant on it though when I after those things are uploaded, because this hasn't really been a rant. It was going to be. I was going to come down on Google hard for them screwing up podcasters and using hangouts, but that'll all play itself out. Me and Mads will be doing our show probably on Wednesday, and he said he was going to work maybe with some OBS and try to, or not OBS, well, Discord for the audio portion. So if he figures something out, I'm sure I can get some help from him. There's a couple other guys that will help me if I need to figure out, like I said, because I've got, I talked about earlier, a couple more podcasts coming, one movie centric, one gaming centric, and the videos are no problem. Like I said, I've got a camera to use, tripod and boom microphone. I just got to get them all hooked up, and I've even got a bunch of scripts out, because I'm going to start out, I'm not going to do edited videos and stuff. I'm just going to record them live and upload them. And I'll start recording. If I screw it up way too bad at some point, I can always just stop it and do it again. But I don't want to spend a bunch of time editing and stuff now until I, have more time. I've been working 60 hours a week for the last 4 or 5 months. It's a grind. But anyway, let's wind this down. You'll see the occasional video here, and there will be some serious content coming though, with some game and movie reviews, as well as my Mojo's milkshake and movies. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a bunch of recipes set up for some pretty cool, doing some milkshakes, and then we'll be talking about movies while I do it. And then BDXP is coming. I'm shooting now. I'm pretty much for around somewhere between the 1st and 10th of September. Maybe that first or second Sunday of September, which depends on how early that falls in the month. Should be a very good, positive gaming podcast. Talking about, what it just got released and what's about to be released, and then any hot topics, of course. So let me go ahead and end this right now. We've topped out over 40 minutes. Started rambling here towards the end, so it's definitely time to get off. Hopefully, I can pick up 25, 30 views and maybe 1 or 2 more subscribers off of this. Content gets you subscribers, and content gets you views, and so I've just got to get more content on here. But I appreciate anybody that watches this now or watches it in the future. Especially when I start dropping the videos with the new camera, I want to show off like all the various retro systems I got and some of the retro CRTs, as well as my higher end stuff. I got mentioned earlier in this little show, got pretty decent home theater rig with, dual 12-inch subs. Yeah, it's more important having great audio like that than it is having a massively expensive TV. You got to have a good TV, and bigger is better. I've only got a 70-inch, and I really want to get up to about that 80 level. I'll be moving eventually within the next couple of years, and whatever house I buy, that's as part of the purchases I move in, I'm going to be throwing in at minimum, I'm hoping 80-inch. So if it ended up being 75 4K, I could live with that, but I really want it to be 80 or even 85. I've looked at some models, and they've now come down in price enough where I can afford it at the time when I move. It'll be an easy purchase. So having said that, I hope you all come back and check out some videos that I'll be throwing up. And have a wonderful rest of this Sunday evening. Goodbye.